Once upon a time, a young boy and his little sister lived together in a small town. Their parents had passed away years before, leaving the siblings to care for each other. As the years went by, the little sister began to suffer from a rare illness. Despite his own fears and sadness, the brother dedicated himself to taking care of her every need, doing everything he could to keep her spirits high. One afternoon, after returning from yet another exhausting hospital visit, the sister looked up at her brother and asked, "What do you think it would feel like to fly?" Surprised, he replied, "I imagine it feels like being free, soaring above everything." She smiled and said softly, "I wish I could feel that freedom, even just once." The next day, he gifted her a little bird charm to keep in her pocket, promising her, "Whenever you feel weak, hold this charm, and think of flying. One day, we'll feel that freedom together." She clutched the charm tightly, and it quickly became her treasured keepsake. As the days passed, the brother made sure her life was filled with little adventures to ease her pain. He read her stories about far-off lands and took her to their favorite hilltop, where they'd sit together, looking out over the town. Her health continued to worsen, but her spirit remained hopeful, and she would often say, "When I hold the bird charm, I feel lighter, like I could soar." One day, while the siblings were watching the sunset, she told him, "If anything ever happens to me, promise me you'll keep our adventures going." He assured her, not wanting to let sadness creep into their moments together, "We'll have so many more adventures. You'll see." But late one night, her condition worsened. He stayed by her side, holding her hand, whispering to her that brighter days lay ahead. In the morning, however, he awoke alone, her hand now cold and still. Doctors confirmed she had quietly passed in her sleep. The brother felt a crushing emptiness, yet he remembered her wish for him to keep their adventures alive. When he returned to their home, he found a little envelope tucked under her pillow. Inside was a small drawing of them together, sitting on their hilltop, with a tiny note that read, "I may be gone, but I'll fly beside you always. Remember our adventures, and one day, I'll see you again in a place where we're truly free." In the following days, the brother continued to visit their favorite hill, carrying her bird charm in his pocket, feeling the warmth of her presence whenever he held it. On his visits, he'd speak to the sky, sharing his day with her, imagining she was listening from somewhere above. As time passed, the pain eased, and a sense of peace filled him whenever he looked at the charm. He came to believe that, just as she'd wished, her spirit soared freely above him, guiding him through life's challenges, just as he'd once guided her through her hardest days. And every time he held the bird charm, he felt his sister's laughter in the wind, her love wrapping around him, reminding him that true freedom comes not from holding on but from letting go.